This podcast contains paid advertisements, but more on that later. Welcome to the O'Connor Bootstrap podcast, where I discuss how you can grow your business by the bootstraps. This applies to everyone with an entrepreneurial spirit. That includes bootstrappers just starting out, established business owners, and business leaders. My goal is to help you grow both personally and professionally. I'm your host, Isaiah O'Connor. Welcome back to the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast Remastered series. Today I am talking about the required secondary power of discipline. And today's sponsor is Audible.com, the world's largest repository of audio content, such as books, lectures, dramatized series, etc. Very, very nice. And today's book recommendation is one of my favorites in business, which is Good to Great by Jim Collins. It is an amazing book, and he has an entire chapter on discipline people, discipline companies, etc., etc., etc. So, very, very important book. He talks a lot about discipline. Matter of fact, most business books do bring up discipline in some way, shape, or form. So this is a very important topic. And remember, you can always go get a free copy of Good to Great on Audible by signing up for a free trial of 30 days. You can do so by going to audible.com/bootstrap with a capital B. That's audible.com/bootstrap. Sign up for your free 30-day trial. You get 1 Audible credit and 2 Audible originals that are yours to keep forever. Plus, you get to listen to their entire listening library that you can listen to unlimited as long as you have your account. You can cancel it anytime. No contract. It's amazing. Go check them out. Audible.com. Now, let's go look at the subject of discipline. Today, I'll be continuing my series in the Required Secondary Power series, where I'm talking about other core traits you need to succeed as a business person. And today's trait, secondary power, that I am talking about today is a very, very dirty word. I hope I don't get banned off of the podcast platforms for this. And that dirty word is discipline. Scary, dirty word, isn't it? Discipline is one of those things that's really both easy and hard, depending on your environment. I found that when you're working for someone else, even if it's a client, it is much easier to be disciplined, as you need to live up to someone else's expectations. For example, I used to be on staff at a volunteer youth camp. Due to the nature of the camp and how many people we had running through there every week to week, we had a very tight schedule. We have a set time we had to be up and awake by, a set time for each meal. Everything was planned out all the way through, and it was pretty easy. Yeah, it took a little bit of discipline to go to bed and get up on time, but outside of that, it was pretty easy. You got up, you tackled the day, you knew what you were going to do when you were going to do it. You had other people responsible that you had to answer to, and you required very little self-discipline to do this. You just followed everyone else. It turns out it's a lot harder to be disciplined when you're the boss, especially if you work from home. If you don't have a client that day, if you don't have some sort of deadline, some sort of accounting thing you have to do by such and such time, it's really easy to slack off. You can sleep in a little bit longer, you can take a nap, or kitchen might call you in for a snack. It's still a bit easier if you have an office, but while there's still fewer distractions, it still can be hard to stay on task. So how do you combat this? This is not easy. There's whole books on the subject. There's a lot of books that cover this as part of the topic about discipline, self-discipline. It's a big thing. I'm going to just hit a few points here. First and foremost, again, it comes back to deciding. If you make a conscious decision to be disciplined, that helps. Again, it's one of those day-to-day, every day, I'm going to be determined. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to be disciplined. When I don't do this, when I don't make the choice to be disciplined, it never happens. I have days where I wake up and I'm like, the kid was up all night. I'm feeling like a truck hit me, I've got a headache, I don't feel like being disciplined, I'm just going to go back to bed. If I don't make the choice, I won't do it. Now, I've had days like that. Even today, my kid was up. I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got up and decided, you know what? Today, I'm deciding I've got to do this thing. I've got to get business done, and so I'm doing it. So, making the choice is how you do it. One of the biggest ones. And it also helps you figure out your priorities. In the classic book, The 7 Guides to Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, he defines a way to figure out what the most important thing is to tackle using what he calls the 4 quadrants. The urgent, the important, the not important, and the not urgent. The goal is to make sure that the important things get done, not just the urgent. Just an example, I learned the hard way. I knew it was important for me to register my employee's pay in the payroll system, the national payroll system, and then pay his payroll taxes. Well, I knew it was important to do that, but I didn't place any urgency on it. I kind of put it off, and then I thought I did it, but I didn't really check. I got an email saying, hey, you gotta check this out, and I was like, okay, I'll check it later. It was very important for me to check, but it wasn't urgent enough for me until I got a huge fine that was more than I paid out my employee for the month because I didn't go and register his taxes in the system. I got dinged for it because even though it was very urgent or very important, I didn't have it high on my urgency list, and it came back to bite me in the butt. Then you have things that seem really, really urgent, like, oh, I really need to develop something new, a new product for my clients, and you're not selling the products you already have, and it seems really urgent because you have this great idea in your head. Oh, I got an idea for this great new product, and you take the time to develop an idea that you never sell. It seems really urgent because it's in your head, but it's not really that important to your day-to-day business operations, so it can distract you. And again, you need to make sure you do the things that are urgent and important. Urgent and important, I need to make sales call. Urgent and important, I need to do marketing. Urgent and important, I need to fill out all my paperwork so the tax office is happy. Setting up this list of importance can help you stay on task, to help you stay disciplined. Because then it's not just you telling you what to do. You look at what needs to be done, and what needs to be done tells you what to do, if that makes any sense. Then you take these priorities and you set up your work week. You set up a daily task, you set up a weekly task that you need to do, and then you go ahead and go do it. It's much, much easier said than done. This is something I struggle with all the time, and I have a lot on my plate. I'm doing the podcast, I'm writing the blog for Atheoz, I'm running my business, and I'm a stay-at-home dad most of the time with my kids because my wife works. So it's not always easy to try to be self-disciplined when you have a lot on your plate. But you just got to do it. You got to sit down. And when I am disciplined and I really focus on things, I can get a lot done in a short amount of time. It's amazing how much more efficient you become with the more disciplined you become. And lastly, to really help with self-discipline is not to be self-disciplined completely. Find somebody you can be accountable to. Find somebody that can hold you to doing what you need to be done. And make sure they know what you need to do to get done. For example, my wife can hold me accountable to some degree, but if I don't tell her what I need to get done, she can't be there to help me. Hey, Isaiah, did you do this today? If I tell her I need to do something, like, honey, can you remind me I have to do such and such and such by the end of the day? She'll tell me, hey, by the way, you told me to do it. Oh, yeah, thank you. Or when it comes to Atheoz and writing the blog and doing the podcast, I have Jason. Jason holds me accountable. Hey, we need to get a blog. I need a podcast. Let me know. Get one up. And I actually hold Jason accountable as well, too. I say, hey, Jason, we need such and such up. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, we do. And we help each other stay disciplined that way. And these are just some of the things that help you become disciplined on a day-to-day thing. This is kind of the end of my little required secondary power series. So let me wrap up the ideas. when it comes to being an entrepreneur, when it comes to starting and running your own business, you need more than just having a good product or service. You can be the best mechanic in the world and have no clue on how to run a business and be not successful. So some of these things that I've gone into a little bit detailed, things like being determined, don't give up. Man, times are going to get hard, and if you give up, you will never succeed. You have to push through. You need to be teachable. Stay humble. Don't be cocky and think you know everything. And not just being humble, but being an active learner. Actively seek to learn more and branch out. If you're in business doing balloons like I am, then branch out and try to learn about events. Try to learn about business. Try to learn about entrepreneurship. Do other things to learn every single day. This will help you stay on top of your game as you're learning. And then lastly, being self-disciplined, as this last podcast has been focused on, is being self-disciplined, doing what needs to be done, finding your priorities, hitting the things you need to do, making sure you're doing what needs to be done to be the most efficient to grow your business as best as possible. Now, there's one thing I've noticed that all three of these things have in common, and in order to grow in them, and in order to do them, in order to make these strengths, to make sure your business can develop, it's to choose to do them. You have to make the conscious choice. Today I'm going to be disciplined. Today I'm not going to give up. I'm going to be determined, and today I'm going to learn. You have to make the choice to do it, and every time you make that choice, every single day, step by step, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. It starts becoming almost a habit, and then eventually you'll find that you are a disciplined person who is actively learning and having a teachable spirit and being determined not to give up. These things will come like any other muscle you work as you work every single day and choose to do that. Now, if you can develop these things, these secondary required powers, the crazy thing is, even if your first idea doesn't work, you, like me, I tried to become a repairman for small electronics, Apple iPods, etc., crushed screens. That didn't work. But as I developed different things, right now I feel like I could leave completely my current industry of balloons, go into another industry, apply these lessons I've learned, and be incredibly successful no matter where I go or what I do. And I think that's the takeaway from this whole little series, which is this. Going into business, becoming an entrepreneur, succeed or fail, if you can master these lessons in life, they will help you through your life in personal and business. You can apply these lessons, be it with your spouse, be it with your kids, be it with your church, your local athletic club you hang out with, whatever it is. These are life lessons, not just business lessons. So you can take these lessons and apply them everywhere you go. If you found value in this content, please leave a comment and give us a 5-star rating on whichever podcast platform you use. We're on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google, and most other podcast platforms. If you would like to support us, you can check out our sponsor links, or if you'd like to support us directly, you can donate or join our membership program at buymeacoffee.com/bootstrap. Of course, it really helps when you share these podcasts with your friends as well. If you'd like to interact with me and other bootstrappers and leaders, you can join us over at our O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast Facebook group. You have been listening to the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast, an Atheoz Business Solutions podcast. For a companion podcast, the Atheoz Business Podcast, which is hosted by Jason St. Clair, past episodes and related blogs, please check out our website at www.atheoz.com, which is at www.atheoz.com or theoz.com. Until next time, I have been your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor.